Fair warning, you need to be a serious person to watch this channel. I talk politics here and I deal with reality here. I don't engage in groupthink. In fact, I go against the groupthink. I question everything and I arrive at my own opinions. I don't expect you to agree with everything I say, and if you disagree with me, that's fine. Please comment and we can have a back and forth, and maybe you'll even change my mind. No groupthink here is the point. But if you can't deal with potentially opposing views or disagreements without resulting to personal attacks or something like that, then just piss off. This isn't the channel for you. You're not a serious person. There are plenty of other channels who will tell you exactly what you want to hear. I'm not trying to be a YouTube millionaire here, okay? I would much rather have 500 subscribers who are serious people and we can have serious discussions over here rather than have 100,000 subscribers who are just a bunch of mindless drones and I just have to give them only what they want to hear because I'm all about the views and the monetization and all that garbage. If you want to become a YouTube millionaire in the political space, then you don't offer independent thought. You don't offer, challenging ideas. What you do is you see what the groupthink is on whatever issue and you just repeat that. Okay, there's lots of places where you can get that. If that's what you're interested in, go find one of them. If you're a serious person who wants to hear different points of view, then this is the place for you. Now, what I want to talk about here is this question about whether Joe Biden should be the nominee. Now, I made a video yesterday and I told you he should not be. He should drop out because of that debate performance. But it's not just because of the debate performance. It's because of what that debate performance did. It confirmed what a lot of people were worried about, that President Biden may have, declined to the point where he's just not up to it. And I think that's where we are with him. Now, if you disagree with that, fine. Tell me how you disagree with it. But I want to deal with some of the stupid points I'm hearing because the groupthink around this issue, because you're not allowed to question this. There has been, at least on social media, there has already developed a groupthink mindset among not just the left, but anti-Trump people, Democrats, whatever, where you're not allowed to raise that question. And they viciously attack you if you do. And they make some really stupid points, okay? And some of the points that, let me just discuss a few of them that have pretty much everybody repeats. Number one is they're saying we can't abandon him just over one debate performance. They're trying to set this up, the argument over one debate performance. This is just one bad performance. Lots of other people have had bad debate performances and have gone on to win. Obama famously in 2012, that first debate was terrible. Bush had a bad debate. This has happened many, many times. Reagan had a bad debate. Many, many times this has happened. So this is no different than that. And we're not going to abandon. You're just freaking out. You're being a crybaby. You can't just abandon Joe Biden because of one bad debate. This is not like any of those prior debates. When Barack Obama gave a bad debate performance in 2012, first of all, Barack Obama's bad debate performance was nothing at all like that performance by Joe Biden. Those weren't even in the same league remotely. Obama's debate performance wasn't anywhere near as bad as Joe Biden's. Joe Biden's was the worst debate performance in the history of American presidential politics. There is no other performance that comes close to being as bad as that was. Okay, so that's number one. This is of an entirely different kind. And number two, when Barack Obama gave that bad debate performance, nobody was questioning his cognitive ability. People weren't saying, well, maybe he has such diminished mental capacity that he's not able to do the job. No, people were scratching their heads going, wow, that's pretty atypical for Obama. That was pretty bad performance. He must have had a bad night. I wonder what was going on. Okay, nobody thought for a second that Barack Obama did not have the mental intellect and cognitive function to do the job as president. Nobody was questioning that. That's exactly what people are questioning because of Biden's debate performance. And it's not just because of that debate performance. People have had this as a question for a long time now. And let's deal with reality. If you go back just 4 years ago, look at the debate performances, look at other things. Look at Joe Biden 4 years ago and look at Joe Biden today. The decline is obvious, okay? And it is pronounced and it is serious. There is a very obvious mental and physical decline. This is not a knock on Joe Biden. The man's 81 years old. This happens to everyone. So this is not picking on Joe Biden. It just is what it is. This is life. The man is 81 years old. The presidency is a tough job. We've all known about this. We've seen before and after pictures. It ages people, okay? But now you take a man who is already really old and you put him through the rigors of that, okay? The aging is much more pronounced, okay? His decline is much more precipitous than is normal because he's so much older than any other president ever has been. Look at 4 years ago, look at now. And here's so it's not just one debate. It's about what that debate proves. The debate confirms a lot of people's worst fears that Joe Biden is not up to this. That is the problem with the debate. That's why this is different than other, past presidents who had a bad debate. This is different because this is part of the concern over his cognitive ability, and it is a valid concern. And here's the other thing, and this is why this groupthink on the left is so stupid. They say, oh, it's just one debate. You can't throw him over because of one debate. The assumption there is that this is not going to happen again, that this is just a one-off. If this were just a one-off, maybe they'd have a point, like in Obama's case. What the hell happened there? This is not typical Obama. This must be just a one-off. Nobody was thinking about jettisoning Barack Obama as the nominee because of one bad debate, because nobody questioned his mental fitness. Here, it's much different. And the fact of the matter is, Joe Biden's decline is real. And you burying your head in the sand is not going to change that fact. It is real. He has diminished greatly. And so the question of whether or not this is a one-off, this is just one debate, here's the thing. Because his decline is real, it makes the possibility of future disastrous performances much more likely. If this was a one-off, fine. You have a point. And maybe, God willing, this is a one-off and it doesn't happen again. But the problem is, there is a very good chance that something is going to happen again. And because this one disastrous debate already happened, how many more of these incidents can he survive before independents or whatever, people who don't know what are going to say, the hell with it. I can't vote for this guy. The man's probably not even going to survive this term. I can't vote for this man again. How many more of these incidents can he survive politically? I submit to you, probably not a whole hell of a lot. And I don't even know that this one is survivable, to be frank with you. But even if it is, what happens if it happens again? What if it happens multiple times? Okay, they're supposed to have another debate in September. Now, if Trump is doing well in the polls in September, if he's not feeling desperate, he's not going to debate Joe Biden again. Why would he take the chance? If he's winning and he destroyed Biden in the last debate, Biden can't do anything but, improve. He can't really do much worse. Okay? He could potentially do as bad, but he could do better. Why would Trump take that risk of him doing better? No, in his mind, in Trump's mind, he destroyed Biden in that debate. And if he's doing well in September, he just won't debate. So President Biden might not even get another shot at the debate. But even if he does, what happens if he turns in another disastrous performance like that in September? Because I'm hearing people say now, oh, this is in June. We have a long way. Why are you freaking out? This isn't going to change anything. We have a long time until the election. Well, what happens if this happens in September and he has another disastrous performance? What are you going to say then? Oh, we have a lot of time. We won't have as much time in September if he does this again. And we are now in a position, because we now know, without a doubt, that the cognitive decline is real. But I'm hearing a lot of people point to this this rally in North Carolina that he had the day after the debate, and they're pointing to that as proof. See, that debate performance was just a one-off. That's the real Joe Biden. He was doing so much better. He was reading off a fucking teleprompter. It's a lot easier to perform when you don't have to think about what to say, right? And yes, he did do better for sure, but he's reading off a teleprompter. It was earlier in the day. And here's the thing. With people of advanced age like Biden, you'll have good days and bad days. Some days he is going to have good days and bad days. Some of his performances will be good, but we run the real risk of more performances like we saw at the debate. Why are so many people denying reality and they're acting as if they don't know what old age looks like? We have all had members of our family who have gone through this. They have good days and bad days. Everybody knows this. Why are we pretending not to know this? Well, not me, but these people on the left who are just circling the wagons and engaging in this groupthink and not tolerating any questions about Joe Biden's mental fitness here. They're pretending like we're supposed to all pretend that we don't know how cognitive decline in old age happens. Yes, fine. He had a good day on Saturday, in Raleigh on Friday. That's great. But that's not unusual. This happens. They have good days and they have bad days. God rest her soul, my grandmother recently passed. I was very fortunate to have her she almost 100 years old. And right up until the end, she had good days and bad days. And of course, the older she got, the fewer good days she had. But you would visit her almost 100 years old. And there are days where she was lucid and the family would, oh my God, you see how great she is? She's amazing. It's like she was 20 years younger. And then the very next day, not a good day. All right? That's just what happens. And so, fine. Biden had a good day the next day, but he had a real disastrous day the day before. And look, on that debate stage, there were 51 million people who watched it. How many people watched the fucking rally? Almost nobody. And not only that, look, I've told you, it's not just about the people who watched the debate. The damage from that debate, it's not like it was, 20 years ago, the debate came and went. That debate is going to live on in social media for a long time now. You're already seeing it. If you spend any time on TikTok, watch YouTube Shorts, go on to these various social media platforms where a lot of people get their news and information. It's a meme, man. People are, those worst parts of the debate, Biden's the moments of his worst performance during that debate, they're going to live on in social media for a long time now. Those clips are going viral. It's going to be memed to death and everything. This is just what happens. So it's not a one day and people will forget. No, this is going to live on for a while, okay? Bad moments live on. So anyway, there are good days and there's bad days. That's just the way it goes. And if Joe Biden is the nominee, we now run the risk every single day. There is the possibility for another disastrous episode like this. We're in a campaign. He's going to be giving interviews. He's going to be giving speeches. There might be another debate. There are so many opportunities now between now and November for more disastrous incidents. He could freeze. What if he freezes up Mitch McConnell style in a friggin' debate? Or on a friggin' interview. Okay? What happens if he freezes on stage? What happens if he just, anything could happen. And the fact that the man clearly has declined mentally over the last 4 years. And again, you denying that decline does not make it go away. It's real. Okay? And again, it's not a knock on Biden. It's real. That's the fucking reality. We need to deal with reality. Denying a reality does not change reality, right? You can deny it all you want, but the reality is what it is. And if Joe Biden is the nominee, then the entire election could be decided by one more bad incident, if it's not already been decided by this horrible debate performance. But every day that goes by is another opportunity for another disastrous incident to sink the campaign. So that's what we're choosing if we choose Joe Biden as the nominee. And contrary to popular belief, he is not the fucking nominee yet. And he won't be the nominee until August at the convention when he is officially nominated. Now, this is not ideal, obviously, but he can be replaced. The best thing, as I explained last time, is for him to decide on his own to deal with reality that he is not up to this and to drop out, okay? Practically speaking, that's the only way this is going to happen. He can be dumped at the convention, but that is exceedingly unlikely. But the fact of the matter is, he is not yet the nominee, and he won't be until August. So don't give me the decision's already been made, he's our nominee, and there's nothing that can be done about it. No, you just don't want to do anything about it. But something can be done about it. The best thing to do is to pressure him to drop out. And look, this is not about Biden. And it's amazing to see how many people make this all about Biden. It's not about Biden. Elections aren't about the candidates. Elections are about the American people and the country and the direction we want to go. Okay? Right now in this election, it's about defeating Donald Trump. It really is about continuing this democratic republic or descending into some form of MAGA autocracy. That's the decision. Okay? And our choices to effectuate one or the other of those two outcomes is, as it stands right now, Trump or Biden. But the election is not about Trump or Biden. It's about the country and those two choices. Continued republic democracy or descent into some sort of authoritarianism. Those are the choices. That's what the election is about. Our choices for choosing one of those two things right now are Biden or Trump. But the election is not about those men. It's about the future. It's about the choice between democracy and authoritarianism. Okay? It's not about Biden. It's about us and our future. Okay? And so just circling the wagons, it's not about fucking Biden. It's about defeating Trump. And people like me believe that we would have a much better chance of defeating Trump and choosing continued democracy to continue our constitutional republic. We would have a much better chance of attaining that if Joe Biden was not the nominee of the Democrat Party, if he were replaced with someone else. There are so many candidates who would destroy Trump. Absolutely destroy. Any competent alternative to Trump would destroy him. Any of them. Anyone who can make this election about Trump will win. Trump needs to be what the election is about. Trump's insanity, Trump's authoritarianism, Trump's criminality. Biden has proven that he is unable to make this about Trump. He had his opportunity on that debate stage, and he didn't. No candidate has ever had so much ammunition that can be used against them as Donald Trump. Impeached twice, 4 indictments, convicted felon, guilty of rape or found liable in a civil court for rape, massive fraud, on and on and on and on. The man is a detestable human being. All of this could have been used against Donald Trump in that debate, and almost none of it was used against him, and none of it was used effectively against him because Joe Biden simply does not have the ability anymore to make that case. So if Joe Biden is our nominee, here is our situation. Joe Biden is not able to make the case against Donald Trump. The media will not make the case against Donald Trump. So nobody's making the case against Donald Trump. So that means we are left to the American people to be smart enough and informed enough to figure it out on their own. And that is a very dangerous place to be. You do not want to leave it to the American people to figure it out on their own. The majority of the American people are blithering fucking idiots. They're not going to figure it out on their own. That's our problem. And we have nobody who's effectively making the case or will make the case against Donald Trump if Joe Biden is the nominee. And we are going to be, so we will be at the mercy of the American people, and we will be at the mercy of Joe Biden's cognitive function. And every day we wake up, we're going to have to pray that Joe Biden doesn't have another disastrous episode at a rally, on an interview, in another debate, whatever the setting. Okay, but that's the situation if he is the nominee. Because of his clear and obvious cognitive decline, we run that risk. It is much more risky to keep Joe Biden as the nominee and be at the mercy of the American people figuring it out on their own, and at the mercy of Joe Biden's cognitive function and whether or not he has another disastrous episode one day to the next. That's going to be the next 5 months of this campaign if Joe Biden is the nominee. And that is far too risky. If you really believe that the choice is between continued democracy or descent into MAGA authoritarianism, then you need to understand how risky it is to keep Joe Biden as the nominee. We would have a much, much better chance with somebody else. And yes, it would be a messy process, potentially, to choose another nominee, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But getting into the mechanics of choosing another nominee, not my point. Maybe another video we'll talk about that. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it could be. And so what if it is? So you go through a messy process. In the next month and a half, it'll be all sorted out. The Democrats will have a nominee. They will unite around that person to defeat Donald Trump, and we will have a much more capable candidate to take the fight to Donald Trump. I think Joe Biden of 4 years ago would be really destroying Donald Trump right now. But Joe Biden of today does not have the tools to do it. He just doesn't. As I say, Donald Trump has been impeached twice since 2020. The number of crimes, all of this stuff, violent insurrection to overturn the last election. All of this can be prosecuted against Donald Trump in the campaign if we had someone who is capable of doing it. Joe Biden had the opportunity. He couldn't do it, and I don't think he'll be able to do it. Sure, maybe he'll give some good speeches reading off the teleprompter, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it matters a little, but we need someone who can consistently do it, whether they're reading off a teleprompter or giving an interview. Okay? Maybe Joe Biden can make some good points reading it off a teleprompter. Do you have any confidence he'll be able to do it in another debate? And if you do, why in the fuck do you? Why would you have confidence in his ability to do it in another debate when we just saw him blow it in the last debate? Okay? And if he blows it in that debate because he doesn't have a teleprompter to read off of, because he has to think of these thoughts on his own, how do you think he's going to do in a tough interview on primetime television? Okay? It's the same problem. He's not going to be able to read off a teleprompter. He's going to be challenged. He's going to be asked tough questions, and he's going to have to come up with the answers and his thoughts on the fly. That's the problem. He just doesn't have the ability to do that anymore. And the fact that you can't question this on the left, all right, I've gone long enough. I can hear my family needing me up there. But here's the deal. I'll just end it by saying something I've said previous. Denying reality does not change reality. Keep in mind and ask yourself, what is this election about? Is it about one man, or is it about the future of the country? And if you think it's about the future of the country, then ask yourself, how best do we achieve our end in defeating Donald Trump? Is Joe Biden the best choice? I don't understand how anybody could conclude that Joe Biden is the best choice to defeat Donald Trump. He clearly is not. But if you disagree, and you can do it in a serious way without just hurling insults at me, then please, leave a comment below. Explain yourself. Maybe you'll change my mind. You're free also to hurl personal insults, but you'll have only one shot at it, because if I see it, you're going to be blocked from the channel. I don't give a fuck about my follower count. I have no interest in having morons like that watch my videos or participate here. Like I said, I'm not trying to become a YouTube millionaire. I'm just trying to give my thoughts to some people and have a reasonable conversation, because there's really no forums to have it. So I'm trying to make my own, because it's nothing but groupthink wherever you go. You know, if you're on the right, you go on right-wing social media or whatever, you can't have independent thought over there. They will crush you with the groupthink. Same thing on the left. You can't express any independent thought over there. You certainly can't question whether or not Joe Biden should be the nominee, because they'll crush you with the groupthink. So kind of trying to create my own little place here where other serious people, I won't say like-minded, because not everyone has to, you don't have to agree here. What you have to be able to do is be open to other ideas, be open to examining things, questioning the prevailing wisdom in the groupthink of the day. If that sounds like it's something for you, then please subscribe. You just want to hear want to hear somebody regurgitate what you want to believe is true? Get the fuck out of here and go someplace else. Plenty of places for that. Anyways, for those serious people, please subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you again soon.